What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you guys are having an amazing Thursday evening and that you are enjoying the first few days of your new year. So, Jay-Z just won a victory in his most recent case, being named alongside of Diddy as a co-defendant in this SA case. He was granted permission to file a dismissal motion, and listen, that's no small feat because every little bit helps. So it says that his legal team scored a victory with the judge presiding over this most recent case is now allowing his attorney to file a dismissal request. Court reporter Megan Cuniff shared documents confirming that Judge Annalisa Torres granted lawyer Alex Spiro's request to submit a motion to dismiss. So this decision marks a shift for Torres, who had previously expressed concerns that Jay-Z's defense team was attempting to dismiss the lawsuit without proper due diligence. So again, all those steps need to be taken in order to move the case forward. So just days ago, Judge Torres rejected Jay-Z's bid to dismiss, which accused him of SAing a 13-year-old girl back in 2000 alongside of music mogul Diddy. Despite the setback, the latest ruling permits Spiro to formally file a motion to have the case dropped, signaling a potential shift in the legal proceedings. The victim's attorney, Tony Busby, opposed the filing of the motion, submitting a letter on New Year's Eve to express his objections. These folks don't take a day off. Listen, I understand loving your job, but working on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, you have to take a break. Otherwise, you'll completely burn out. While this latest development does not guarantee that the case will be dismissed, it does mark a positive step for Jay-Z's legal team as they continue to fight the allegations. The motion to dismiss the case is due by February 6th, and its outcome will be closely watched by both sides as they prepare the next phase of this high-profile legal battle. So I'm definitely curious to see, how this is going to play out as well, because I do feel like the young woman in question, again, I'm always willing to believe the side of victims, especially when people speak out. It takes a lot of courage to speak out, especially, if you've been assaulted when you were younger. She said this happened when she was 13 years old. However, I will say this. The inconsistencies in her story, along with her father, not cooperating with her story, there's reasonable doubt there. And the fact that Jay-Z named one of his albums Reasonable Doubt is ironic in this situation, but that's what the law says. It says that, the burden of proof is on the state and that the plaintiff has to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. That's the law of the land. So the inconsistencies in this young woman's case, she was talking about, her autism. She was talking about how she was just changing her story so many times. And again, like I said, I never want to disbelieve anyone who speaks up about any type of, crime against their personhood, right? Because those things tend to stick with people. We just heard from, Ashley Braxton, the niece of the Braxton sisters, speak out about just inappropriate, I think it was like messaging, texting from one of her, aunt's husbands. She didn't even name which auntie it was. Now, the internet detectives have gone to work, but she's speaking out about this, and this happened when she was 16 years old. Now, 16 years later, at 32 years old, she's like, okay, this is my time to speak up. So I never want to diminish or dismiss anyone who finally has the courage to come forward to tell their story. Because again, a lot of these lawsuits from Diddy have just now come out, and they're decades old, right? These things happened back in the 90s, but because New York has that law, that statute where victims can come forward and tell their story and be protected, and that cold case can move forward, then the judge is hearing these people out. So this young woman, naming Jay-Z, um, uh, we don't know what happened. We weren't there. But what I will say is I need for Tony Busby and, um, that team, his legal team, to essentially tighten up. You can't drag someone's name through the mud. Because as a man, and you guys know that I'm not a man, but as a person, period, I'll say that. But it's more so men. If they are accused of such a heinous crime, those things tend to stick with you. And especially if you're such a high profile public figure like Jay-Z, those things tend to stick with you. Unfortunately, um, people don't necessarily live those things down. And so for him to fight this in court, I don't blame him. I would too. He said that he's Brooklyn made. He's like, I'm from New York. I'm from Brooklyn. And in BK, we don't back down from fights. Bring it. And he has the resources to do so. He's a billionaire, and he's married to a billionaire. So he has the time. He has the money to protect his name, to protect his brand, to protect his family. And if I would do the same thing if I was in that situation. And unfortunately for this young woman, I feel like she said that this happened when she was 13 years old at a VMA party. There's so many holes in her story, inconsistencies. What was she doing at a VMA party at 13 years old? Where was her parents, her father? Like I said, he didn't necessarily corroborate her story. Where was her mother? Were anybody with her? She said first that a limo driver picked her up, and then I don't know. It was just it changed too many times to the point where I'm sure the judge was even like, okay, I'm going to allow this motion to dismiss to go forward because of all these inconsistencies and holes in this young woman's story. At least that's what I was able to glean from it, right? Because again, initially she was not going to grant the motion to dismiss, but she changed her mind. So now we have a motion, to dismiss on the table. It has to be filed by, the first week of next month, February 6th. But we're going to see how this, this whole trial, goes down. But I'm sure that Jay-Z does not want to go down with Diddy and all the people who are suing Diddy. I don't even know. I lost count in regards to how many lawsuits there were. I want to say like maybe around like 30 plus. People were just, I feel like so many people in the entertainment industry, and those are just the people who had the courage to come forward, right? That's not even, all the people who have decided to stay silent, right? And just, try to move forward with their life, not have to deal with what they might have gone through in the 90s. Or the people who are not here to tell their story. Earlier last year, there was supposedly the memoir from Kim Porter, and then we found out that necessarily wasn't true. And there was another supposed thing from Albie Shore, and he was like, no, that wasn't true. So we don't know what exactly happened. The only people that do know what happened, I was going to say it was Diddy, but he might have been so hopped up on whatever substance of choice that year, he may not even have remembered everything that went down. So, I'm glad that people are coming forward. I'm glad that they're telling the stories. I hope that this young woman, I don't know if she is being inconsistent because she can't remember because it was so long ago, because, maybe there was another traumatic event that occurred. Trauma can do that to some people where it might provide some lapses in their story. Who knows? But I hope that the judge has enough discernment to make a wise decision, because you never want someone to not receive justice, but you also don't want someone's name being dragged through the mud or their name being defamed and they didn't do anything either. I do believe that Diddy will pay for his crimes. He has so much evidence, so many people speaking out against him. That CNN video, I don't think that Sean Combs is going to go free. That's just my opinion. I'm not a judge, I'm not a jury, but I really don't see him um, getting out, to be honest. I know that his trial's in a few months, and this is, the second day of 2025, but I don't know about Jay-Z. I feel like because this was a small victory in his case, that they're going to possibly dismiss the case. Who knows? If more evidence comes forward, I will definitely try to keep you guys updated. But I want to hear from you. What do you guys think? Do you think that, Jay-Z should have his case dismissed? Or do you feel like because of, the inconsistencies in this young woman's story, she's still a Jane Doe, so she's still being protected? Or do you think that he should have to go to trial alongside of Diddy? He's named as a co-defendant. I don't know. But anyway, I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts. Please be sure to like the video, share with your loved ones, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Bye.